obviously, if there are great players, great talents available in the transfer portal, it's kind of like the NFL draft. You've got your needs list, and then you've got your, we don't care, we're loaded at that position, but that guy's awesome. You go get him. But if looking at the needs list, what would be your priority list position wise for the Canes?
This is funny because with some of these same people after the game, some other journalists and bloggers, I was talking about this very question. So good that you brought it up. My number one is wide receiver, because we went over the portal last year of receivers of consequence. Yeah, we got Frank Ladson, but like, like he's a 3 or a 4, honestly, But yeah, everybody who we went after, who went somewhere else, was incredible. Juice Wells from James Madison to South Carolina, awesome. Zay Flowers from U School in Fort Lauderdale was a developmental prospect, but he went to Boston College and turned into a great player. Kicked the tires on that, and remember, he put up that thing, well, I am going to stay at Boston College, and da-da-da-da-da. He was insinuating that no, I was not considering going elsewhere for NIL reasons. Okay, buddy, sure, whatever. But Miami was one of several teams who tried to get him. That didn't happen. He's incredible. Both receivers at USC, Jordan Addison, Mario Williams. I think there's another couple. But just like any player at receiver that we really went after of consequence to be a game changer, we missed on, and they were awesome elsewhere. And if you think about it, bro, Tyler Van Dyke did video game numbers with Charleston Rambo and Mike Harley. Mike Harley's a practice squad guy, and Charleston Rambo was the number 1 overall pick in the XF, NF, USF, something L. So it's not even like you had, prime Jerry Rice and Randy Moss mixed with Calvin Johnson and, playmaker Michael Irvin coming off the bench. It wasn't even like that, bro. But you can see even a halfway decent player in the portal, how that affected things. Even if you go back before, the year previous to that, KJ Osborne is about to get another paycheck in the NFL, right? So I think that raising the level at wide receiver is absolutely integral. You have to have that. The one that's maybe a little bit more controversial that myself and these other gentlemen were talking about after the game as we were waiting for Mario Cristobal to make his way down to the interview room was quarterback. Because you have to think, are you sold on Tyler Van Dyke? And are you sold on Tyler Van Dyke returning to Miami? And those are two different questions, by the way. Are you sold that he can do the job, especially with the offensive line still being developmental at best, because you're going to put all these youngsters in and have to grow them. So I know that, we're in the spot of getting from atrocious to just bad is going to be a step forward, but he got hit so many times that he injured his shoulder multiple times. So are you sold? So are you sold on him that he can do the job? And the second was, are you sold that he's going to stay at Miami, which that last thing about getting hit and sacked may impact his decision and everything. So where you go from there, are you just going to turn the keys over to Jake Garcia? I know that Jakari Brown, he had a decent moment at Georgia Tech, but 136 yards and 89 rushing is about the ceiling you're going to get from him right now. So are you going to turn it over to him? Williams is coming in a true freshman. You're going to turn it over to him? I don't know. So I think quarterback is the one that's sneaky, especially when you consider the fact that I know that Tyler Van Dyke is evaluating all of his options. I think that the NFL is off the radar for now based upon this season, but there are many, many schools that would take him and make him their starter, and it would be an upgrade, especially moving into next year. I've said on here before, when we had Jaden Rashada committed, that, going to SMU, pairing back with Rhett Lashley, that's a no-brainer. That's one that I know is out there. Another one that might be, I don't know, better, but definitely at a higher profile because they want to run a pro style offense and utilize tight ends and take some vertical shots on play action when they can. Notre Dame. And, you know, I think he would be a great cultural fit there. You know, I think that that could really be a boon for the Golden Domers as well. And I know that that's another option out there for him. So it'll be interesting to see if he sticks around. And then obviously, what does Miami do? And I said even on here last week and the week before, say, hey, maybe Miami has to go get a Jake Heaps type, a roster filler, a floor raiser kind of a guy. Maybe not, the ceiling is, or the ceiling is the roof, like Michael Jordan said the one time, not just to make it an immediate national champion, but like raising the floor a little bit. Maybe you go get one of those guys. So wide receiver number 1, quarterback probably 2. It depends on who's out there on offensive line, but you're going to need linemen too, because it just takes time. Everybody's not going to come in and be a day one superstar on offensive line. Sometimes you need a little bit of that grown man strength that comes at 21 as opposed to 18. That functional strength. So maybe you kick the tires there. Linebacker is another one, but we got 3, maybe 4 coming in this class. And then cornerback also, because Tyreek Stevenson's already said that he's going to NFL draft, and he played pretty much every snap until he got ejected for targeting last week and everything. So, I mean, there's definitely areas that you can go and probably will go at the top of the roster. So you're going to try to hit the high notes, but you're also going to look at depth across the roster through the portal as well. But I would say, again, wide receiver 1, quarterback 1A, just because of the uncertainty about Tyler, and then almost best available pretty much everywhere else.